Hi, my name is Cheri, and this is my YouTube channel, Cheri's Cards. You can also find me on Pinterest and on Facebook on Cheri's Cards, and my website is stampinonline.com, and you'll want to know all of that because this week is the week that our 2019-2020 catalog goes live, and there are so many fun things in it that you are going to want to get your hands on. And I have lots of samples already up of fun things that are in it, and I'm going to show you another one today. So you'll want to make a note of that, and I have all of the links down in my information below this video, so you can run down there when you're done watching and grab that. If you don't have a catalog, then you can message me and I can get one to you. And I also will have some classes posted that are free. I do free online classes, and for those videos aren't posted. Well, they're posted, but you have to be part of my online classes to see those videos. And I like to do cards, as you know, that are a little bit different. So when you take my classes, then you get to not only see the videos, but I send you the supplies, like the actual cardstock and stuff that you need to make the supplies. So you buy the stamps so you have those in your home, and then you follow along with me to make your cards. So those are fun. And for right now, you won't have any of the stamps and things because the catalog's brand new, so nobody has them. So those will be going up on my website on Monday, so which is probably about the same time this video will post. So today I'm going to show you, this is a new stamp set, and it's called A Little Lace. And this is just going to be a fun little card that is designed so I could use several of the in colors. It's a quick card, and it's also, I'm going to show you another thing that I'm going to do with it. You may have seen these two videos. This card, both of them use new things in the catalog. This one will be made at my new catalog camp that is going to be on Friday, June 7th. If you are in the Indianapolis area, you are more than welcome to come. So just message me again or go over to my website and you can get the details for that. But for these two cards, I have used two different techniques with my aqua painters that I fill with refills, and these are both filled with new in colors. So one has terracotta tile and one has rococo rose, but I'm going to use them in a different way today on today's card, so stay tuned for that. So let's get going on the card. I'm going to use just some Whisper White background, or not background, Whisper White cardstock to stamp on, and then this this stamp set is part of a bundle, and it comes with the stitched lace, which I have featured several times now. I'm not actually going to use the die with this card, but I do have some videos up for that, and I'm also going to post a couple of other tips along on with this card. Sorry, I have migraines, and this weekend I've taken a little bit of extra of my preventative medicine, and it makes my words be kind of funny. So sometimes they're there in my head, they just don't come out of my mouth. But I will be posting another additional video on tips of using the die that comes with this, because it's a super fancy die, intricate, and I've worked with it a lot. So even though it's not on this card, I have picked up a couple of other tips, so they will be on the blog post with this. There is a new video, but I don't want you to miss it. So here you go. Here's these two. It's kind of a flourishy little thing. So we've got that. And this is just memento. It's been a few days since I did this. I gashed my thumb. So today's the first day that I can hit it and not have it reopen the wound and start bleeding again. So it was not as a gardening injury. So it didn't work well with stamping. You don't want to have some real red blood on your card as you're stamping. So for a minute, I had to take a break. Let's see. Let's get these. So that just comes with a bunch of little flourishy flowers. This is just kind of a fun summary card. And it's just a because card. And we might be doing it at my camp. I still haven't got all of my camp projects kind of figured out in my head. Partly because when we have new stamps and I don't have a lot of stuff to go around, I have to decide what I can use. So I've put the You'll Always Be My Friend on the front, and I'm not going to do the inside because it has You'll Always Be My Friend, and then if we do it at camp, I will let them choose the inside because it says You'll Always Be My Friend, You Mean Everything to Me, which is a nice, sweet little card. So You'll always be my friend, you mean everything to me. So you could do that and have it for anybody, and it could be a birthday. You could add another happy birthday to it, or there's also one that says, "You'll always be my friend, you know too much," which is fun for one of your besties. So I would kind of let them pick. So I'm just going to leave this for now in case we do it at camp, so then they could see. I am going to decorate the inside a little bit, but I'm not going to put the saying on there. I think that's all the black that I want. It's been a minute since I made this card because I intended to film it last week after I first created it, and then I gashed my thumb open. And it hurt like crazy, and not only did it hurt, but like when I would cook, I accidentally, the day I did it, I was tossing a salad and I got some balsamic vinaigrette and I thought my heart was going to stop. Okay, so this is a new color. This is Purple Posy, which is not available to order until maybe July. They've had some quality issues with it. So some of us were able to get it before the quality issues were known. Well, and that's when they discovered that there were quality issues. So if you won't be able to get it, you can get the cardstock and stuff. You'll just have to wait on the ink. But it's a lovely color. So that's Purple Posy. And I just stamped this little bar thing that goes with it. And then this is Rococo Rose. And I will tell you that this shirt, see, migraine medicine, this card is designed because I have a shirt that I got, and I'm going to wear it for my catalog, new catalog camp. And it's these colors. So when you first see the in colors, sometimes you're like, those are pretty, but I will never put those together on a card. And then you go out shopping, and you're like, well, Stampin' Up! Is always on trend. And not only do the colors come out, but other people put them together in ways that we might not. So this card is actually designed with the colors of my shirt that I will wear at my new catalog kickoff. I'm also going to make some jewelry because most of you know that I also make jewelry. So I'm going to make a bracelet that goes with my shirt. So I went out and bought the beads for that yesterday. And then this is Terracotta Tile. And these are the 3 in colors that are in the shirt. I'm going to stamp this one upside down. And this is just a little flourish to get the terracotta tile up above the little saying. And so it's just kind of all over. It's just a hodgepodge of free-for-all, fun little decoration. And then the rest of it, that's all of the stamping for the outside. Now I'm just going to get a blender pen. So this is just some good old-fashioned stamping. Go back to the Rococo Rose. And then, you know, if you haven't done this before, there's my injury, you just take your stamp pads and kind of smash the tops together here. And then it gets some ink on the lid. And then I have, usually on mine, this is a new blender pen. Usually I do an end for like my greens, my purple, my blues. And then I do an end that is my pinks, my yellows, my lighter colors. So I can tell from my past use that that's where I've done this. So I'm going to get some Rococo Rose. And you don't need a lot of color. Just enough to kind of color these in. Just give them a hint. Because again, it's not a super artistic card. It's more just a fun, you'll always be my friend card. And you know, sometimes we see these and we're like, yeah, I don't know that I would always give it, you'll always be my friend card. But you can always add a fun happy birthday on the inside or a thank you. So just because it says you'll always be my friend on the outside doesn't mean that it's not a birthday card on the inside. Because we have those friends that will always be our friends. So if you wanted to take more time, these, like all of these flowers have like little stripes, and you could make them stripy and you could take a lot of time to color it in. But that's not the look I'm going for in this one. I'm just going for super fast and some swashes of color. And again, the color combinations were totally designed by my shirt. So it might not be something that I sat down and said, well, I think I'm going to smuck these colors together. So sometimes if you think that putting colors together is not your thing, then just go to your closet or go to the store, because I have a helper, and this is my water, sweetheart. My allergies are, well, there you go. You got a little bit of that. This is Blushing Bright, so this is not an in color. but it was one of the colors that's in my shirt. I will take a picture of the shirt and I will post it on my blog. So if you want to see the shirt, you can see how I got the colors. But I started to say before I was rudely interrupted or nicely visited by my helper. Sometimes I was at Anthropologie recently shopping for a wedding. Not a wedding dress, but a dress to wear to a wedding. And the end colors at Anthropologie everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. So I took 5 or 6 pictures. You know, now that we always have a camera with us in our phone, I just took a bunch of pictures with my phone because not only were the end colors everywhere, but there were several designs on their clothes that looked strikingly like a lot of our stamp sets. So I just took pictures of some of their beautiful clothes. And then you can go home and you can create something in those color palettes. And again, because these in colors, I've left out the Seaside Spray and the Peacock. But you could easily add those into this, but because I was sticking to the colors just of my shirt. So you'll want to be getting the in colors because if you want to create by copying the fashion that's out there, you will need them because that's everywhere. So there's the Blushing Bride. Oh, I guess I want the flower, the centers. So you can see where I stamped the Rococo Rose. Some of it I'm coloring over the top of. But like right there, there's a heart. But as long as you don't smear and smear and smear, it's fine. I feel like I should have one more of those. 1, 2, no, I guess not. So I think that's all of that I need. And then normally you can like smudge these off. But because I'm going from kind of staying in the same color family, you don't really need to. That's why I do 1 tip of each kind of color for these. And this is the terracotta tile, which orange is my favorite. Like oranges and greens are my colors. So I was drawn to the terracotta tile immediately. So much so that when I thought I would sit down, because I have lots of beads and lots of stuff that I can create jewelry with without having to leave my home, but I had absolutely no purple beads because purple's not my color, but I already had lots of beads that would work for the terracotta. Not that when I went out to buy some purple beads, I didn't feel the need to get some updated terracotta tile colors. So is that everywhere that I want some of that? And you can see by going back one time, I've done like a little light touch. And now the second time, if you go back and hit again, then it'll get a little bit darker. And you might not be able to see that in the video. I'll get a close-up of it in the picture form and put it on my video, on my blog. See, migraine. Migraine meds are great at helping you. Well, they don't necessarily make you not get a migraine. They keep them at bay. But they mess with your words. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper because I'm done with this end of this and just get that off. But the reason you don't want to always squidge off after every single color is because it wastes your fluid and your blender pen will run out sooner. So now I'm going to switch to my purple end, and this is Purple Posy and Gorgeous Grape. And again, Gorgeous Grape is not an in color. And this is the quality issue I will show you because my pad is one of the ones that should have been recalled, but I didn't want to give it up. You can see how it's foamy, and we don't like foamy because that will foam up on your stamps. I'm living with mine just because I want to have, but that's not the quality that Stampin' Up! Likes. And so whoever made our ink pads did not do a good job. And so Stampin' Up! Doesn't want their pads to be yucky. For coloring purposes, it's okay. But you can see when I do my other ones, it doesn't make all those little bubbles. So if you're wondering why we don't have Purple Posy, that would be why. But I'm living with mine, and I will just buy another one when the good ones come out, and I'll get rid of this one. But I just want my Purple Posy, so I'm not returning mine. So there, I've got those, and then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of Gorgeous Grape because it was a color in my shirt, and it's nice to have just a little bit of dark color. Now see this? There's no little bubbles. It shouldn't, your pads shouldn't have bubbles, and so that was the quality issue. See, we've just got a little bit of dark now. Just that tiny bit of little dark there. And then just squidge that off. And again, you don't want to rub and rub and rub and rub to get your blender pen clean, because all it's doing is taking out your the fluid that's in there. And when I didn't decorate the inside of my card, but that's okay. You can get an idea. You could just put the little posy and the words on the inside. I'm not going to take the time to do that. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you one thing first. Here is the terracotta tile. So I was going to put this on here for my in color background, and then here's the purple posy cardstock, which the cardstock is available. So here's this, but then here's the terracotta tile, and here's our Cajun Craze, which is a current color, and it coordinates. You can see that it coordinates, and I really liked the striking darkness of the Cajun Craze. Again, kind of from my shirt, because it has a little bit darker of the terracotta in the shirt. So I liked it like this. So just because I didn't use the Cajun Craze on the card didn't mean that I couldn't go for a darker shade on this. So that's just a little bit of a design. Just because you don't have the ink on there doesn't mean that you can't use it. So let's fold this in half. And here's where my pens are going to come in, my aqua painters. So let's take this together. This was one of the things when I did try to mess with stamping when my thumb was really injured. I touched it with some adhesive, and then I also touched it on the edge of cardstock. You don't realize how much you touch your thumb. And so my husband, you know, being the helpful, kind sir that he was just like, put a Band-Aid on it. But if you try to put a giant Band-Aid on your thumb, that isn't conducive to stamping either. So it was just easier to take a couple days break, even though it was new catalog time and it was really kind of hard. So I've got Rococo Rose and Terracotta Tile. And then here's my closed card. Although let's start with it open so you can really see what it does. So I'm going to take my Terracotta Tile, because imagine that I had stamped the words in here and a little bit of the posies. So you're just going to take it, and this has refill and water, which you can go back and watch some of those other videos. And see, it just gives some nice speckle, which matches this design of this stamp really well. I know, baby. My cat thinks that I should be paying attention to her. So just add some speckles. You don't want to add too much because it is water and it will bleed. And here's the Rococo Rose. And I do want a little bit of it on the posy. So I'm trying to get tight kind of to the edge. You do want to make sure that your surface is covered because it does go farther than your card. But it gives a nice little splatter effect. It just takes a couple of hits. But you know, we've had different splattering tools and different splattering things over time. But you can see it just gives a nice little effect. And again, I will get a close-up picture of that on my website. Sometimes it's easier to see these things in a picture than it was. And those you can, you know, if you have favorite colors that you use a lot in your stamping, just fill an aqua painter with that, and then you can always just add some splatters. The other thing that it's great for is if you accidentally like touch your card with an ink, or you overstamp, or it gets a smudge on it, just splatter it and it looks like it will cover it up and it looks like it was part of your design. Okay, and then this is a Ink of Stella. Just because I thought the Blushing Bride dried a little flat. The color was just a little bit too flat for this design for me. So I just went back to my big daisies and just brightened them up a little bit. This card has a little bit of a 70s vibe to it. So I didn't want to make it like super shimmery. Well, and part of the reason I think it has a 70s vibe to it is when you see the shirt, it's tie-dye. And for those of us that lived, let's just add some shimmer to everything. Those of us that lived the 70s, you know, tie-dye was our jam. So here we go. So this was, you know, I didn't want to add a big shot. I didn't want to add, I thought about running it through the settles, but I liked it like it was. But I thought it just needed one more thing, one more new catalog thing. So we have these. These are part of the Pressed Petals suite. which I don't have very much of it now because it wasn't available for pre-order. But these are the copper ones. I call them the copper pennies. But in case we make this at camp, I want to have a lot of those left for the girls. So there's probably already not enough already. But the copper looks really pretty because it pulls in the other color. But that doesn't mean if you run out of copper that you can't use the other colors. So let's go with the silver because I think the silver will be pretty too. So just get your spatula tool. I'm going to take your pick. Although the gold might be pretty too. Let's see, what color do we want? I think the gold actually might be. So just slide your spatula under there and then just stick it right under here. Oh yeah, the gold looks really pretty. So these will come. Those are available in the new catalog. And I think that I may be doing a special giveaway with those in June. So you might want to check my website for that. And here we go. And my ugly thumb. And here's the one that has the copper on it. And you can see the dots, just kind of, you're not in control of where the dots go. When you stamp randomly like that, every card's going to look a little bit different. This card actually, I really liked the way that the Cajun looked underneath that. So when I went to cut this one, I intentionally cut my white panel a tad bit smaller. So this one has a little bit more of the Cajun that's showing because I liked the way that looked. I thought it would, having a little bit more would give it a little bit more of a border. So there you go. So this may or may not. I think it may. It just depends on how many. I have to figure out. I like the project and I want to do the project, but you have to figure out when you do an event if you have enough of the stamp pads to be spread out. Because in my real life, like once we have catalog, then I have 2 of all of my colors. So I could have 2 projects that have all of the new in colors. But right now I just have 1 pad of all of them. So I have to figure out, I can do 2 projects, but I have to be able to know that I can't do 3 because that's pushing it. Is to make sure that all of them can be using the same color pads. You can't have 6 projects that all use Purple Posy when you have 1 pad. So I hope you like that. And again, you can go over to my website and watch the most recent video that has the Stitch Lace die, which is part of the bundle for this stamp set. Didn't use it. I have yet to use the bundle as designed with the stamps and the dies together, but I do love them both. So there you go. Get ready for a new catalog, and if you need one, just let me know. And if you're in Indy and you would like to attend my events, head over to my Facebook or my website. Those are both the best places to find out about my events. Everybody have a great day and a happy new catalog week. Bye.